Hello and welcome to Mr. Randy's Wine and Spirits. I'm Mr. Randy and today we're doing another full review episode. If you're new to the channel, hello, welcome, come on in. All my returning viewers, you know how we do, so let's do it to it, shall we? Today's full review episode is going to be of the Hibiki Suntory Whiskey Japanese Harmony. Coming in at a very nice, respectable enough 43% alcohol by volume. A meticulous blend of the finest selection of whiskeys. We're going to get into that selection in just a moment, but get a look at the backside here. Government warning, not a whole lot of other information. Product of Japan, imported by Beam Suntory, import of Chicago, Illinois. 60652, yes, we got that. There is whiskey, Suntory whiskey. Nothing else on that. It's got a nice cork, so let's go ahead and get that popped. Boom. That is the nicest knobby cork. I'm not going to throw that. I'm just going to gently set that down. I'll move that out of the way. But we're going to go ahead and let's go ahead and get the pour done, and then we'll take a look at the box. Yes, it came with a box, so let's go ahead and get that pour on. That's good. Let's take a look at the box, shall we? So, established in 1923, Suntory Whiskey is the founding house of Japanese whiskey. There's nothing on this side, nothing on that side. There's the top, bottom, but here is Shinjiro Tori. That's the founder in 1923. I'm not going to go through a whole lot of that. I'm just going to roll through it, slowly scroll down. Tasting notes. Color is amber. Nose is rose. Hint of rosemary. Mature woodiness. Sandalwood. Yeah, we'll get into all that. Ooh, with a hint of Mizunara, Japanese oak. That's good stuff. So that's the box. Thank you for that. Let's go ahead and let's get to this, shall we? So let's scoot you over there where you belong. We'll break out Mr. Randy's handy dandy whiskey color scale. Off camera, we're going to try and nail this down to a, I think it's a pale brown. I would say it's more of a pale brown than a medium brown, but it is what it is. On the nose, it does very much so smell like a premium whiskey. There's no age statement, but they do tell us that they use a blending of 10 malt and grain whiskeys from distilleries. They claim they have 5 distilleries, but the Hibiki Harmony here only has barrels from 3. So the 3 distilleries that this Harmony is using is from Yamazaki, Hakushu, and Chita. They use American white oak, sherry casks, Mizunara, love that stuff. But they say there's a 5. They say there's 5 styles that they use, 5 barreling styles that they use to make this Harmony, but they only list the 3: American white oak, sherry casks, and Mizunara. But the other 2 distilleries they claim they have, but they're not in the Harmony here, are the Osaka and Usame. And that makes up the Beam Suntory Hibiki. I paid $98.28 out the door for this 43% ABV bottle of Japanese whiskey. This Hibiki has been on my mind since the vast majority of the channel started back in early 2025. it's always and forever been over $100 for this bottle, which in the beginning very much so put it well above the range I was willing to go. But not so recently, probably about a month or so ago, Twin Liquors had it on sale for like 80, lower 80s. And I was going to pull a trigger, but it's just the thing about Twins that I only buy something from them if they have something I can't get from places where I have memberships and discounts, and every single dollar I spend counts for something eventually. But yeah, I passed on that sale they had at Twins. And then I saw it come down just enough to put it under that $100 mark, just barely. $98.28, just barely out the door. So I said, I guess it's time to pull the trigger. And so I did. On the nose, it very much so smells like a premium whiskey. Definitely higher end, upwards of to $100, somewhere between $60 to $100. Mostly light orchard fruit, apples, pears, honey, suckle. Maybe a slight whiff, faint of like a wheat. But there is like a very, very, very slightness of those deeper red ripe fruit. Like a plum. Stewed plum. Let's go ahead and get on the palate. Now that does hold on. I do a 3-part series to my review system. Part 1, off the rip, get it home, crack it open, have my first pour, share my first impressions with you, because that is what I do. Part 2, full review time, where we're at today. We drink it down halfway, put the beautiful cork on it, let it sit gently on the shelf for a week and a half, let it open up, let it off gas, let it find its legs. While it's doing that, I go online, find as much as I can. It's very limited. Sometimes the official website doesn't like to give out a whole lot of information. That's more often than not they do that. Not very often do you get a distillery or a bottler that gives you more information than you can handle. But anyways, while it does that, I do my thing. I come back, we talk about it, I score it, continue to drink it, because part 3, final pour episode, thusly named, we have that final pour and compare it to the first pour off the rip and everything in between. Now, where was I? It's got a beautiful nose. It does sort of lean towards Scotch, because that's where the Japanese sort of got into the industry, was from Scotch. And they started making their own stuff, but they sort of imitated Scotland and how they make it. All the stories and more I've had on a few different bottles of Japanese whiskey. Go ahead and check on those if you want to know more about how Japan started making whiskey, why it kind of tastes and smells like Scotch. Beam Suntory, House of Suntory bought the Beam industry, Jim Beam. So yeah, Suntory owns Jim Beam, but they do not interfere with how it's done, and that's smart. You bought something you knew had sustainability and growth, and you don't mess with it. You just own it. And you just take in some profits over the years. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Let's get one more on the palate. Oh, that's so good. It's got some decent, that's actually pretty good viscosity. Transfers well to the palate. It's good amount of oiliness. A good balance between the light and the dark. I couldn't call it. It's so close I couldn't call it. Light orchard fruit, apples, green apples, pears, honeysuckle, blending the two together. Then you've got that deeper, darker, rich red, ripe, like plum. I'm not quite sure if I'd say it's more a stewed apple, but I think it's more heavily on the plum. Very nice. I'm getting almost a 2 on the back end with a heat. A 2 out of 5. Not so much anywhere else, really. I get a little bit on the cheeks, the jowls. Not so much in the lips or the gums. The tongue, slightly. It's fluctuating between bitter and sweet. If you liked the video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. If you have not subscribed to the channel as of yet, go ahead and do so while you're there. That way all these videos will come to you as soon as I release them. There's a lot of weird wackiness going on with YouTube. It happens every so often, ebb and flow, okay? We got your peaks and your valleys, I guess they're just trying to regulate for the industry and, you know, not be caught on either side when somebody slams the door shut. So they're always sort of trying to meter out the changes. Either it's for good or worse, better, or whatever. But sometimes you think it's getting better, and then you hear it's getting worse. So let's go ahead and do this, shall we? Oh, that's good. It's not as good as high up on a pedestal as I put this without ever trying it. But that is damn good. The nose is nice. Like I said, it drinks so much so like a scotch. But I can definitely get that Mizunara. The Mizunara oak cask finish. I can definitely get that because we had one that was like primarily that's the oak that they rested the whiskey in. Mizunara. That oak is very rare in Japan. And it has a very unique kind of taste. I can definitely pick that out of it all. Sherry? Kind of, maybe, yeah. I wouldn't say it's so prominent enough that you can easily pick it out of the three. I'm getting gums. I'm getting more action on this finish. Okay, so the heat on the back end has now exceeded the 2. I get cheeks, I get gums, I get jowls, I get lips. Everything is sort of getting some action here except for the roof of the mouth. That's just, I guess that's just me maybe. The tongue is very low still. It's very nice. It's a very, very nice whiskey. And I could definitely see why it's so coveted and why they just will not come down off of that $100 price point. It is pretty dang good. So let's stop messing around here and let's get to the, let's put a score on it. Man, oh man, this is one of the very, very rare ones that I could say definitely is what they say it is. And it's definitely worth the price point. Now, I'm not saying you should have to pay $100 for a bottle of whiskey. I still think that's kind of nuts. But, and my tablet just went off. Okay, great. We'll just go without it. We need a score here. I'm going to put it at a weak 5 out of 5. That is damn good. It is extremely, extremely well rounded. It's a blend of 3 different distilleries and 5 different cask types. I think I got to put it at least the #1 spot for my Japanese whiskeys that I've tried. I still have more to come. Now, like I said, that one Japanese whiskey, that Mizunara cask I had, Glenfodry, that's what it was. It was a scotch. It was a scotch, not a Japanese whiskey. Now, they do claim that the Hibiki is one of the most adherents to the standards, the current set standards for the whiskey libations industry in Japan. They do claim they cover they check every box to make it as legal and as compliant as possible, and they still come out with something damn good. Is it worth it? I'd have to say yes. I would have to say yes. What would be my price point? What would I say a fair price on this was? Man, I would like to, that's just me, I would like to see it at $80 a bottle. I think this would be more acceptable, and people would probably get it more if it was more of an 80 than 100, but it's only 20 bucks. You say, okay, yeah, but 20 bucks can make all the difference, because then it's another 20 bucks, then it's another 20 bucks, then it's another 20 bucks. You have to draw the line somewhere. I draw it at 100. And I'm so glad I finally got able to get this one, get it in, get it on the channel, and get it done for less than $100. Would I buy this again? Yes, I would. Yes, I would. I would love to have this one again, but there are many more down the line for Hibiki. Hibiki has, I want to say like 5 or 6 more down the line, plus all the distilleries that the Suntory has. Suntory has many distilleries, like 5, and then from those 5, they make a great plethora of lines for each one of those distilleries. So there's a lot to go through, but as far as the Hibiki goes, like I said, there's like 5 more, but gonna keep that in mind. But this is the lowest costing one they got in the line, so it might be a while until we have one of the other ones, but there it is. In the comment section, we'd love to know, where are you at? What are you currently drinking? Have you had a Hibiki? What do you think about it? If it's good enough for John Wick, it's good enough for you and me. So, anywho, thanks for stopping by here at Mr. Randy's Wine and Spirits. I don't think anything I could say would I just can't. But you know what it is. You know what I'm thinking. It's,